Welcome to another episode of the Futures League Rundown. I'm Ben Hayes. Last night we saw all 10 teams in action. Let's get right into it. In the first game of the night, we saw two teams looking to rebound from opening day losses as the Torrington Titans traveled to Wachusett to take on the Dirt Dawgs. The Titans started early with a leadoff homer from Southern Connecticut's Nick Lamberti and never looked back, putting up 8 more runs in the rest of the game. Mikey Armon of Kenyon College drove in 4 of those runs, going 2 for 5 on the day with 2 singles. The Titans beat Wachusett by the score of 9-4. The Seacoast Mavericks hosted the back-to-back defending champ Worcester Bravehearts last night, and the game went down to the wire. Scoreless until the 4th inning, the Bravehearts ended the drought, as the defensive indifference in a Chad Miller single brought in 2 runs. The Mavericks would go on to knot the game back up until St. Leo's Chad Miller launched his second home run of the day in the 8th inning with a 2-run shot. The Mavericks would fight back, as the shortstop from Broward College, Kyle Wisniewski, cut the lead in half with a solo homer. But their rally would stop there, and the Bravehearts take their first game of the season 8-7. After defeating the Wareham Gatemen of the Cape Cod Baseball League the day before, the Brockton Rox opened up their 2016 regular season by hosting the 1-0 Nashua Silver Knights last night. The story of the game was Knights starting pitcher from Amherst College, Drew Fisher. The 6'3" righty tossed a no-no through the first 5 innings before getting pulled for relief. Fisher allowed 0 runs on 0 hits and 5 walks, while striking out 7. Brockton would go on to avoid the combined no-hitter, getting their only 2 hits of the game in the 6th inning. Nashua improves to 2-0 in the season, taking this one 6-0. Looking to keep up, the Suns and Blues squared off in Pittsfield last night in the only game featuring 2 1-0 teams, and this one lived up to the hype. Starting pitchers Artavius Marsh from Faulkner and Jameen McCann from East Tennessee State each towed the rubber for the first 5 innings of the game, allowing 1 run each. With the game still knotted up 2-2 at the end of the 9th inning, extra innings were necessary. The two clubs continued the stalemate until the 12th inning, when Chris Morris of Manhattan knocked a single into the outfield, scoring 2 and leading Bristol to victory by the score of 5-3. The two teams combined for 28 strikeouts and 17 walks, an early season record. This marked the Blues' second extra inning game in as many days, coming out victorious in each of them. The final game of the night featured the only game with both teams yet to open up their season, as the Sharks of Martha's Vineyard hosted the North Shore Navigators. Northeastern's Jake Farrell provided most of the offense for the Sharks, as the big lefty went 3 for 4 in the game with a homer, a double, and a single, knocking in 3 runs and scoring once as Martha's Vineyard went on to defeat the Navigators 6-3. Mac Curran of UMass Dartmouth picked up the win for the Sharks, coming in for relief in the 6th inning. Curran allowed no hits and no runs over his 1.2 innings pitched, striking out 2 and conceding 1 walk. Through these first 8 games over the past 2 days, the Sharks are the only team to win in their home stadium so far. Now time for your player and pitcher of the night, brought to you by On Deck Sports, the official sponsor of the Futures League. The player of the night goes to Chad Miller of the Worcester Bravehearts, as the 9-hitter from St. Leo went 3 for 4 on the day with 2 homers and 4 runs batted in, leading his Worcester Bravehearts to an 8-7 victory. The pitcher of the night goes to Kenny McLean from the Torrington Titans, as the relief pitcher from Albany tossed 3 shutout innings, allowing just 1 hit and 1 walk while striking out 6, preserving the Titans' 9-4 win. Tonight we have 8 teams in action as the Sharks and the Mavericks are getting a day off. The 0-1 Navigators head to Nashua to battle the 2-0 Silver Knights at 6:45. Mike Gianalis of UMass is expected to take the hill for Nashua. 1-0 Pittsfield Suns look for revenge as they head to Bristol for a rematch against the undefeated Bristol Blues. RJ Hall of Tufts and John Arrow from Maine are expected to toe the rubber. First pitch is scheduled for 7. The 0-1 Brockton Rox travel to Torrington to take on the 1-1 Titans at 7. James Muse of Memphis is the expected starter for the Rox. Merrimack's P.J. Brown and the Wachusett Dirt Dawgs close out the night by heading to Worcester for the 1-0 Bravehearts home opener. Greg Stigani of West Liberty is expected to take the hill for Worcester. First pitch is at 7. Thanks for tuning into today's episode of the Futures League Rundown. As always, I'm Ben Hayes. See you tomorrow.